I think our next commission is going to be someone doing like animated art of us doing wrestling moves and stuff, so we can play it with that classic theme. I believe that's WrestleMania 2 theme. I think it was also pretty much the generic Coliseum home video opening theme for those early years. But JT and Marcus here, co-hosts from WWE War, good buddies. And we're delivering to you a very special WrestleMania themed tier list. So we promised there'd be a lot of WrestleMania content here on North South Connection over the next couple months. And this is just one of those little bonus things that we're dropping your way. Marcus, as you know, me and Ryan Gray are also doing a lot of WrestleMania content. We are ranking every single WrestleMania match of all time, all 402 of them. Those are being done in short form, so they're all a minute or less. They run on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook Reels. So just subscribe to any of those or all of them, and you'll catch those. You can go back. If you go to YouTube Shorts, there's a playlist of all of them if you want to catch up and let us know your thoughts. We're targeted to end on WrestleMania Saturday this year is when the top number one or whatever top handful will drop. So we usually drop about 5 a day right now. That's going to slow up a little bit as we get closer to the bigger ones, but we're about halfway there, buddy, and it's been quite the ride. You enjoying that? Anything you want to share with me for?
No, like my main man, Patrick Mahomes, coming off his 3rd Super Bowl win. You guys are on pace for greatness, so keep up the good work. WrestleMania Saturday is well within reach, and I'm enjoying it because it's like if you forget for a day or two to check, you can just easily catch up. Or
Yeah,
you know,
quick to
it's
watch,
just
for
as
sure.
easy to stay. It's just as easy to stay on track throughout the day too. So I'm enjoying it. It's a fun exercise, and it's a daunting task that you guys make seem super easy, even though I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. It was a lot of pre-work, a lot of rework, and then just a lot of talking to Ryan, which is probably the hardest part. But we are enjoying it, and we're happy that it's gotten pretty good reception out there. So for those that don't know, if you're new to this right here, Marcus and I host a show every other Thursday. It's both video here on YouTube and audio on all of our podcast application feeds. And it's a very nerdy show, WWE War. So it's based on wrestling above replacement. So we have a bunch of categories. We're watching every WWE pay-per-view era ever in a seasonal format. And we do like a big plus minus system. We have all these different categories. So you're not just basing the quality of a pay-per-view on mat in ring or
Cares.
big things that happen, right? We're looking at atmosphere. We're looking at notable moments, commentary. We're kind of including everything as we break that down. So we wanted to do a tier list, WrestleMania based, and kind of take one of our categories and extrapolate it here. So one of our categories on War is rewatchability, Marcus. And we wanted to go ahead and rank every WrestleMania, all 39 of them, based on rewatchability. So before we start, what does rewatchability mean to you?
Watchability, a big factor is like aesthetically. It's something for me that sticks out that I enjoy rewatching. Even if it's a dingy setting, as we might get to, if it's familiar and if it's something I enjoy, if it's something that feels like home, even if it's dark and dingy and maybe a little bit moldy and filled with cigarette smoke and cheap poker tables.
I think you're just
It's
describing Iron Claw, I think.
it's something that feels like home to me. So that's like the first bit of rewatchability to me. And then secondly, I think of like show flow, match lengths, match types, the superstars you're seeing, the card structure, which is another thing we get into on War. I think all that goes into factoring in rewatchability. I think that plays a big role. And then I think another part's the commentary too.
Yeah, exactly. There's
goes
a lot
long
of
way.
and it's just a lot of nostalgia that goes with all of it. Rewatchability to me sometimes means like, what am I putting on to fall asleep to? What are those like classics, right? That you're like just comfort food if you're sick, you want to throw on. And I think the goal for us here, like, let's think you're coming for the weekend. We got pure guy time for a few days. We're gonna BS, order some pizzas, and just watch a bunch of WrestleManias, right? What is the order we'd like want to watch them in, right? If I throw these out at you, you're like, yeah, let's go, or we'll see. And you'll see some of the category names we have here. So we'll go ahead and bring this up. So we have 7 categories. We have 2 GOATs. So this will be the 2, like, put them on anytime I'm in. Then we have Yes Please, Let's Watch. So that's, exciting. We're into watching them. We're, if I throw it out there, you're all in. Toss it on. I'm down. Whatever. It's wrestling. It's a good WrestleMania. It's a lot of good matches. Let's do it. Kind of fine. I'll watch. I was thinking that as like podcast preparation, right? Like, all right, I gotta watch it. I'll watch it. Same as if I have to. That's like a level down, but the same idea. Like, all right, I gotta watch the show tonight to talk about it or whatever. Then there's can we watch anything but this? I almost put like can we watch WCW 2000 instead, but it's the same concept. I'd rather watch anything besides these WrestleManias. And then we have no effing way, no chance. And that'll be 2 there. So we're gonna do 2, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and then 2 at the bottom. So we'll have the 2 worst, the 2 best, and then in the middle. So I don't want to just go chronologically because I think I just think we'd have a lot of the best ones are gonna be early. I think naturally, or for rewatchability, stuff like length is going to play a big role. To me, a tight 3-hour WrestleMania or 4-hour WrestleMania is going to be way more desirable and rewatchable than like an 8-hour WrestleMania or whatever some of the later ones are. So I don't want to just say we'll go oldest to newest because I think we'll just end up dropping them almost in order, right? Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. And I think, not to extrapolate too much on it, but like for me, not just the length of the show, because there is some longer, 4-hour WrestleManias that I think are going to finish pretty high for me on this list, but it's also how much downtime is in between the matches, or like with that downtime, what is happening? Am I watching, 15 minutes worth of like, here's all the good stuff we did this weekend with like,
Right.
The Hollywood Walk of Fame and, this and that, or am I watching, promos and, good recap videos and stuff like that? So,
Okay. So let's just do some randomized. I'll just kind of start throwing some out. Like, not to get the worst out of the way, but let's get the worst out of the way. To me, anyone who's watched the WrestleMania tier list or heard me talk about anything related to WWE wrestling and WrestleMania knows I am not a fan in any way of WrestleMania 36. It's the COVID mania. It's the Performance Center mania. I find it depressing to watch. It's a very depressing time in history. I think some of the stuff later you kind of get a little bit more adapted to, but those early weeks where you kind of didn't know what's going to happen. Am I going to see my friends again? Like we were planning to go to this WrestleMania that got bagged like weeks before. I remember I just hate watching it and being miserable. I'm not super interested. I'm sure we're going to go back and watch it at some point for War because we're doing all of them, but to me, like if you threw this out there, I'd be like, yeah, I'm just gonna head home. You could watch that one. Are you good with that?
You summed it up. Yeah, WrestleMania 36. It's not the show's fault. It's definitely a victim of time and circumstance.
Okay. All right. So I wanted to get that out of the way. Let's talk WrestleMania 23, Marcus. I'm gonna throw that
Okay.
one at you.
This is the first one for me that I'm putting in the what do I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there it is. I've got it in the fine. I'll watch category.
Yeah. Okay. I think we can put it at the top of that right now, just because I think like we basically got 17 ahead of it, right? So you're saying it's a little above the mid level.
Yeah.
I think it may be a little bit better than that. Like you have, and I guess your mileage varies on what you think of the 2 big matches, right? So you got Batista Undertaker in there, you got Shawn Cena, which are both I think pretty great. You got Trump and Vince, which is a pretty big deal, and some fun stuff in there. Pre-made the last few years a little bit more enjoyable, but as is, it was the biggest drawing angle in Mania of all time for a while. It's a really good Money in the Bank. I think there's a lot of really good stuff in that Mania. So I'm going to say right away, this may be a little low. It might be up a level for me, but I'm okay with it like leading off this tier for now.
All right.
All right.
What's the next one you want to pull up?
Let's go a little more modern on this one. Let's go with 33. So 33 is Orlando. I always look at 33 and think of it as like starting really hot, sitting there live saying, oh, we're at an all-time Mania, and then just hitting the skids hard. Triple H Rollins is way too long. The bug match with Orton and Bray is an atrocity. And the main event is just way too plodding and long with Undertaker and Roman Reigns. I watched it recently, and I mean, I could barely make it through that match without dozing off. It's like 25 minutes. It's so slow. That would have been much better just to not do it at all, or to speed it up, shorten it by about 15 minutes, I think. I do love Goldberg versus Brock. I love the Hardy's return. It's one of my favorite live moments that I've seen. AJ Shane is really good. KO Jericho's good. So there's some good stuff in the beginning, and then it really kind of hits the skids.
This is one of those shows, I think the atmosphere drives it up a lot for me. Just the roller coaster entrance. I think it's the coolest entrance that they've ever done. So that one for me, I have it at the very end of my toss it on category, but I'm fine putting it now. Like, where'd you have it if I have to?
Yeah. I'm already at the back of Final Watch right now. Like, I think it's behind 23 for me. 20 is a little bit tighter. It doesn't have the all-time bad of the Bugs, which is pretty all-time bad. And Taker, when you just look at the main event alone, the Taker match at 23 blows it away. And then the main event, when you stack the main events, Shawn and Cena blows it away. And then, 33's got the Cena Miz thing, which is fine too. But I don't know. I guess when you look at the two best matches of each show, I don't think it's close. I think 23 takes it. I think Goldberg Brock is awesome. But that's like 5 minutes. So the rest of the show, like even the Hardy's return is cool and it's a good match, but I don't think anything touches those two big main events from 23. All right, let's do WrestleMania 4.
Ooh, all right. This one, it's dark, it's dingy. You can almost smell the cigarette smoke through your television set whenever you watch this. I have this one in Toss It On.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 is one of those ones we mentioned earlier. It's a nostalgia driven show. Like if you came over right now and be like, hey dude, I want some classic 80s wrestling, let's put on 4, I'm in. If I have to watch it critically and like break it down, I'm a little less interested because it's just not great in ring. Jake and Rude is bad. But if you're throwing it on to just like watch and doze off or just chill out with a buddy and watch it, like to me, it's high because the nostalgia is high. Gorilla and Jesse carry it. Great atmosphere, great story with the tournament. It's got all your favorites. So I think it's good right there. Like toss it on, I'm down. You want to put on 4, I'm in right now.
Yeah, I think the soundtrack definitely helps carry it too. Like you can
Yes.
just close your eyes and listen to Gorilla and Jesse riff all night.
That's going to carry these first dozen or so, 10 or so, whatever.
For sure.
Is a lot of that part. All right, let's do 29.
That's the one I was thinking of. We were both there live for this show. In the moment I felt like, oh shoot, we have like 3 or 4 matches left. We might be in for an all-timer. I thought everything was building up to this wonderful crescendo of a last, hour and a half, and it just didn't happen for me. So going back and watching it, I would say, if I have to.
I think we're going to have more there. So I'm going to put it at the top of can we watch anything else but this right now.
Okay.
Taker Punk is awesome. It starts well, but like there's a few misses. Like Del Rio Swagger is a real weak world title match. Triple H Brock is not fun. Main event is not good. So I think even Fandango Jericho is like Fandango's hot and it's cool, but like it's just a weird match. And Jericho losing was weird at the time. Odd use of Bryan, even though Hell No is over. The Shield match is good, but probably, they had much better before it. So you're thinking maybe something hotter. So it just felt like it was a night where nothing really like clicked hard besides Taker and Punk, which is like an all-timer. So, all right, let's do a 38.
This one was at the last one in Dallas, right? Were you here for this one?
And I was there for this one. I like it a lot. I think it's a sneaky hot crowd. A really great. I think it's an all-time Mania crowd. After I rewatched this one recently, I think it's some real high-end stuff. And I wouldn't say Austin Owens holds up fantastically. I think it was like 3.25 when I watched it again. But it's just Austin being back in the ring and having a great match, and Owens bumping around, closing the night. It's awesome. Cody's return obviously is fantastic with a really good match with Seth. I like Charlotte Ronda a lot. I think it might be a little bit on an island, but I really liked it when I watched it. Becky Bianca is like fantastic. Maybe the best match of the show. McAfee, the pop for McAfee is awesome, even though the Vince stuff is stupid. And then just the look of the arena. Again, the crowd is hot. The only thing that really kind of sucks is the main event. It just stinks that they had to go home early because Roman's shoulder pops out, so it feels very anticlimactic. But even AJ and Edge, I liked quite a bit when I watched it. So I think I'd have this on like maybe the end of Toss It On. I'm in. It may be one of the better longer manias. I think it's probably going to end up maybe more for me like in the fine category, but I don't know. What do you think? What's your gut?
I had this right in the middle of the fine. I'll watch. For me,
All right,
what
put it
sticks
there.
out is like this is like I don't know if it's the first, but I feel like it's the most egregious example of the like every match you can set your watch to like 12 to 15 minutes
Yeah.
before the next bell rings. It's just too much time for me in between matches. Um, Other than that, that's the only thing I don't particularly care for about this WrestleMania show.
All right, so let's put it above 23 for now, which are
All right.
probably a little high, but again, we're going by rewatchability. All right, let's do WrestleMania 8.
Ooh, repping the shirt, of course. WrestleMania 8, it's for me, I have this in the first spot of yes, please.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. You got great matches, all-time commentary, an amazing look, moments. It's tight. It's really the first Mania they shortened up at 8 because like they eliminated the bloated. We got to get everyone on the card, and I think it's because the roster got purged quite a bit. So I think they do almost everyone on the card. It's just a lot smaller roster. Um, yeah, 8 I could throw on in a moment's notice if you tell me we're going to watch WrestleMania 8. I think the only thing that hurts it is down the back end. It gets a little blah with that tag title match. Kind of sucks. Tatanka Martel's like okay, but that first half and then like the Warriors return, plus Gorilla Bobby all night, like really drive it.
Yeah, like hearing Grill and Bobby, especially Bobby being able to play off of Flair losing the title at the end of the first half of the show, I think really helps boost it up a lot in the rewatchability.
All right, let's do one that we talked about not too long ago on War, and that is WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania 16. Definitely one that I think we had a lot of high hopes for, like at the time, because it's such a hot era. Just everything, whatever they did, just did not work on that night. Everyone seemed off. No singles matches is weird. They overthought the main event. There's definitely so many things they could have done differently. So my gut says if I have to for right now, but maybe drop
Yep.
down from there even.
Yep, that's exactly where I got it.
Because he does have the ladder match, which is great. The Angle Jericho Benoit is really good. Disappointing, but good. And the main event's like fine. It's just long and
Yeah.
overthought.
It's just up until you get to the main event, it's like the show has no flow because
Yeah,
it's all multi-person matches.
yeah. It's a weird card. It's a very weird card.
Yeah.
All right. How about WrestleMania? Let's do 34.
Ooh, I am lower on 34. I'm actually low on both New Orleans WrestleManias. I
Ooh.
know they are big personal favorites of the rest of the NoSo network and place to be family. I have this in the do I have to? I think the show is rolling along, and then you get to I think AJ and Nakamura is just way too long. I
Mhm.
think they ruined Brian's return
Oh yeah.
in a way too long tag match, and it just never recovered from that. Just two back to back lengthy segments,
Nicholas,
lengthy
that's at the end
matches.
too, before the main
Nicholas is
event,
back
which is terrible.
there. Yeah.
And then Brock Roman is again like 3 1/4. It's a kind of right there with the 38 match. Disappointing. Um, Charlotte Asuka is awesome. Uh,
Yes.
beyond that though is like and the opener is great. The 3-way for the IC is great. But beyond that, yeah, not a lot cooking. It's a long show. So again, if you're sitting down to watch it, it's a commitment. So let's put it at the end of if I have to. But again, I think it's another one that might drop down to anything but this.
Same.
All right, let's do 20. I think it's an interesting one.
I am lower on 20. I have it in the if I have to. And that's like the ending of the show aside. Um, I'm just like, it's all right. It's all right. It is 4 hours. I don't think the roster is particularly great at this time. You have the 2 four-way tag matches that are just kind of whatever. You got like a boring Taker Kane match in there. If I have to.
Yeah, I mean it's sneaky bloated, and like I think the main event's an all timer, right? I mean, no surprise that it's going to finish high on our Ryan and Ice countdown. Angle Eddie's great. I love the Rock and Sock. Jericho Christian's great.
Yeah, that's great.
The problem is that's 5 matches out of like 14 that I just named. There's a lot of bloat on this show. Taker's return is cool too. So I think it's if I have to, but I think it's at the front of that for right now. Like I'd have it ahead of 16 and 34 for sure.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think would you have it above 33? I think it's got more going for it than 33 if you had it throwing on, and 33 is longer too.
Yeah, like at least even though I'm low on that triple threat match, I'd rather watch that triple threat match than Roman Taker.
Would you have it above 23?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. All right, let's put it above 33 for now here. All right, let's do WrestleMania 12.
All right. For me, I've got this in the if I have to. It's just kind of meh show.
It feels very much like 16, fittingly enough, both in Anaheim. But the good thing with 12 is it's only 6 matches. It's tight, and it really comes down to your appetite for the Iron Man. I'm not saying I want to sit here and rewatch it like over and over. I did like it when I watched it recently, like when Chad and I did it, a couple years ago on Warzone. Like I think it's a very good match, to borderline great match, honestly. But it's not super rewatchable as a match. So I don't know. When I first dropped it in here, I put it ahead of 16, but now I'm rethinking it a bit because would I rather watch 16 than the Iron Man again right now? If you had to tell me, yeah, maybe. I mean, honestly, 16 besides the Iron Man, I think is the longest main event in WrestleMania history. It's like almost 40 minutes or something crazy. So
yeah, and I feel like the Piper and Goldust backlot brawl stuff throughout the show kind of helps.
And Taker Diesel's good too. So maybe it's a little, I don't know.
Yeah.
16's got the ladder though. Let's leave them both there, I guess, for now. They're close. They're close and oddly similar for the Anaheim shows.
Yeah.
All right, let's do all right, well, here's an easy one. Let's do 32.
We were both a little bit higher than I think we expected when we did this one for War. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the do I have to?
I'm gonna put anything but
Oh
this.
can we watch it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was fine with it for War because we're picking up on stuff like atmosphere and moments, and there's a lot of that. But again, it's such a long show. The main event is I don't want to sit through it again by any means. It's a great show up until the women's match, and then just completely nosedives after that. Sadly, the women's match comes like an hour and a half into like a 5.5 hour show. So
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell is just way too long. Andre the Giant Battle Royal doesn't have much going for it. The Rock segment's too long. So I think it's even below 29 for me because 29 at least is a little bit tighter of a show than 32 is. So, all right, let's do our WrestleMania 5.
Same argument as WrestleMania 4. I'm in Toss It On.
So I think I'm gonna yes please let's watch, but again, it's driven purely by nostalgia. It's like one of my favorite eras. Got a lot of my favorite guys. There's a lot of throwaway matches, but it's like, and it's a longer show. It's I think it's one that's almost 4 hours, maybe 3.5 or something like that for a Mania. But the main event's great. You get to see everyone in there. Again, the commentary is awesome. I think I'd have it. Maybe it is similar to 4 in ways. All right, let's put it at the front of Toss It On. I'm in, but I think it could move up to let's watch.
Yeah, I could definitely see it getting bumped up.
All right, so we'll put it above 4 though. All right. All right, let's do 21. It's another one we watched recently on War.
Yeah, this one grew on me because of War. I was kind of lower on it, but after rewatching it for War, I'm all about it. Super solid show. Everything hits. Personal issues. Title matches mean a bunch. I'm in the yes please for this one.
Oh, okay. So even you'd have this above 5 and 4 as if I'm sitting here, we're picking what to watch.
Yeah. It's weird. I wouldn't expect it, but
All right.
maybe it's a recency bias or just rewatching it. But
We have to talk that one
I
through a
thought
little
it held
bit.
up really
I
well.
don't think it's crazy because I mean, Kurt and Sean's great. Money in the Bank is awesome. It's just those two title matches. Again, they're fine. They're good. I think it hinders just a little bit the potential. Same with Ray Eddie, which was like very good, but could have been great. But Taker Orton's great. So I mean, there's a lot. And the Hogan stuff is awesome. Austin and Piper. So and there's some great stuff in there for sure. All right, let's do WrestleMania 9.
Where are you at with WrestleMania 9?
So I think this is one that's really going to test this formula, right? Because by all standards, it's always at the bottom. Like you hear 9, 11, 2, right? Like those are the ones you always would hear at the bottom. But this isn't about best Mania. This is about I'm throwing a Mania on and I just want to like watch whatever. And this has some stuff going for it in that regard. It's got comfort food in the era. It's got amazing atmosphere to look at. It's got some cool moments. It's tight. I think what hurts it is the opener is 20 minutes and it's boring. And the Mega Maniac shit is way too long and boring. So like those actively take away from it. So I'm not advocating that it's up in the top half here. I don't think it's in the I think I'd have it above 29. I'd rather have it above 34. I think.
Okay. I am tiers higher on it. I'm in the toss it on. I'm in.
All right. You have it above 23?
I do. It's a fun show. I've got it. Let me just look at my rough draft here. I got it at. It is, but I don't know. The show's fun. People are in togas.
One thing's
light
jumping
outside.
Out of me.
Then it gets darker.
Looking at what we have right now, one thing's sticking out at me. That's 38. It's probably in the wrong spot. I'm looking at it. I think 23 and 20 should probably be above it. What if you put 9 ahead of 12 right now? Is that like a compromise? Would you or above 30?
Yeah.
Is that too
I'm
low?
just looking at. I would rather watch 9 before I watch 33.
Okay.
I'd rather watch 9 before I watch 38.
I'm not going to argue that. I don't think it can go above 20 or 23.
I'm there. I'll pump the brakes there.
All right. That's
for
good.
me. This is
we met in the middle. We met in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. Let's palate cleanse a little bit here. Let's go with well, maybe not. Let's go 27. So 27's got the Miz Cena debacle of a main event. Rock is the host when it should have been Rock Cena. It's got one of the worst match of all time, I believe, based on me and Ryan's list. Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler. It's got Taker, Triple H. Your mileage may vary, right? The two Triple H Taker matches. I'm interested to watch those when we get there for War, like those two back to back, because I feel like they're so divisive. I feel like people that hate one and love the other, they hate both, they love both. It's all over the map on that. I think there's some fun stuff in there, but it's to me, I'll always argue, and we do everything on a seasonal format. And to me, that WrestleMania 10 to WrestleMania 11, WrestleMania 2010, WrestleMania 26 to 27 is like the worst 12-month stretch in modern WWE history. I think it's worse than anything in 94, 95. I think it's worse than anything more recently, because more recently you at least have great in-ring work. The only thing I could say maybe that would rival it would be like the Thunderdome era, but even that had better matches, I think, better character work, even though it had such a shitty setting. So probably anything but this, probably ahead of 29.
This is my second addition to No Effing Chance.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Higher than 30. You have it below 32 though.
32 at its worst does not have Jerry.
It's Hell in the Cell and Triple H reigns to me. I don't. Well, I guess
all right.
Cole,
So
it has Cole.
I think that's a fair point to kind of have the discussion around. So it's it's Triple H and Reigns, and it's the Cell with Taker and Shane versus Lawler and Cole and Cena and Miz.
Yeah, I think Cena Miz is the best of the four.
Okay.
Cole is the
All right.
worst of the four, I think. But the Cell is not far off. And the Cell is like a half hour. And I think we timed it. Wasn't it 45 all in? With like all the bullshit around it, or 40. It's like something like that.
I thought it got close to 50.
You also have the Rock thing, which 27 does not have. The Rock stuff from 27 is better than 32.
That's another good comparison. You do
I
have
think
like
it's above 32. I think it's above
promo,
32.
but
I'm okay if you want to have it below 29. Because 29 maybe doesn't have anything as all-time bad as Cole.
Yeah, at its worst, 29 is just blah. All right, you talked me up.
Yeah, 32 is rough.
Curious to see what the other no effing chance is going to be when we're.
Yeah, I mean that may 32 may be it. Honestly, I mean, looking at things,
it could drop. Could drop.
All right, let's do 18. That's another one we did on War not too long ago. Has an all-time classic, fine-ish main event. It's to me, we talk about it often on every pod right lately. It's like the most rebookable Mania to me. I think it's one you could really shuffle and find multiple ways that would have made it better. So to me, it's an evolved version of like 12 and 16, like because it has just top end stuff, but it kind of underwhelms. I'm really struggling with this 38, 33, 9.
So I've got WrestleMania 18 for me as my line of demarcation rewatchability WrestleMania. It is smack.
Yeah, that's a good spot. That's a good way to say it. So where's your line? Is it above 20?
The final watch. I'd have it at the front of final watch.
The front of ahead of 23. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Hogan Rock really carries a lot of it. I think we're gonna get to a 38 and 33 are gonna be moving down soon. I think I'm gonna move 33 right now down here because we're gonna fill up this pretty quickly. All right, let's do 10.
10. I've also got it in the final watch, but we are filling up space quickly, so I'm open to negotiations.
So I think 10 is a better version of 20. It's got the feel good ending. It's got 2 great matches, but then it's got a lot of fill that you kind of don't think about. But it does have an awesome crowd.
2 Brett matches.
I think it's Vince at his best. 2 Brett matches. I think it's Vince at his best during this era, 94. I think he's really good at this show. I think him and King actually do a great job on Brett Owen. Even Quebecers Men on a Mission's like sneaky fun. I like the mixed tag with Doink and Dink. I think that's fun. Razor Shawn.
Dink tripping in the aisle is always fun.
I mean, Razor Shawn to me is still 5 stars, no matter what anyone says. To me, this is a toss it on. I'm in. I'd have it above 18. I'm okay putting it below 5 no, I'm not, because I don't think anything of 5 and 4 is better than those 2 matches.
I've got 18 and 10 like back to back. So when you said like toss it on, I'm fine.
I'll compromise. I think it's going to be up on toss it on, but I'm okay if you want to have it below 4 and 5 because of nostalgia. I think it depends what era you're nostalgic for. You know, it's both for me, right? Because 94, 95 is really when I was all in. So, all right, let's do another one we did on War recently. 35.
I've got this one in the. If I have to.
Yeah, 35 is like, it's another one with these fucking long manias where the first half is really good and then it hits the wall and the back end just suffers. And it's always at the Triple H match. Not to deride him, but it's always at the Triple H match. Triple H Batista, that's another one. It's like 45 minutes of time spent on that stupid match. And then you got Angle jobbing, like that's stupid. The main event is, fine, but botchy and rushed at the end. But the first half of it's great. I mean, with the Brock, Seth stuff and AJ and Orton's awesome.
And then like you have the introduction of like the newer NXT guys that got called up too. It's like you have a good amount of characters on the show that have like infiltrated from NXT. So it does stick out when you're watching the more modern stuff that like, oh, it's got, the great workers that were acquired during the the expansion period of 2015, 2016. They're on the main roster at this point, so
And the
I think
Elias
that
thing's
one
really
helps
really
it.
fun too with
Yeah,
Cena.
that's cool.
Let's put it at, you want to have it ahead 34? Would you have it above 16?
I don't think I'd have it above 16. No.
Okay, I'm all right with that. Let's put it above 34 though. I think that's a good spot for it. I think it's a little bit better version of that. All right, let's do 11.
Probably unfairly, I have it at the back end of the if I have to.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be more probably here at the front of Can We Watch
Okay.
Anything Else? Which is tough. Like, Diesel Sean's fine. I love LT and Bigelow. There's really just not much else there. It's a
It's
shitty
not bad. It's
atmosphere
just
too.
it's just the first WrestleMania that doesn't feel like a WrestleMania at all.
Yeah. The Owen stuff is cool, but there's just not a lot cooking beyond that. It doesn't feel like a Mania. You're right. I think 29's ahead of it. Because Taker Punk is better than anything on that show.
Yeah, and if I'm just watching for atmosphere again, that first MetLife show really sticks out.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
You got the giant bridge and the Statue of Liberty.
The only thing 11 has going for is that it's short. It's tight if you're looking for just like a quick nostalgia watch. But all right, how about 25?
Fine, I'll watch. This is another one that, and maybe to this day, I think still my expectations of this Mania just way override the actual output of the show. So it's another middling WrestleMania to me.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it a
But
decent amount.
less entertaining than
When I
the
watched it for
18.
PTB, there was a lot I liked. I really liked the Hardy match more than I remembered. I thought Money in the Bank was really good. Um, the main event is just so poorly organized. But Taker Sean obviously is an all timer. I think it's close to the 18, 23, 20 range because it's got like a
Yeah.
great match, some really good backup stuff, and then some misses. But it looks awesome too. It's got like a really cool look to it. I think I'd have it right below 23, ahead of 20, probably. You all right with that?
Yeah, it looks right.
Oh, I don't know. Rewatchability, right? We're not ranking. All right. I guess I had a 9. It's closer than you would think, though. I'm going to move 38 down to
We got
All right.
things are moving.
Let's do 2.
Maybe unfairly I got it in the can we watch anything else? But I don't hate the show.
I think it's close to like an. I've come a long way on it. Like growing up, I hated it. I really hated it. And watched it for PCB. And you know what really helped watching it was I think the network, WWE Network had like the original pay-per-view version instead of like the Coliseum version that like I had as a kid. And it added a lot more of the extra stuff on it, like the interviews and different things, like in the videos. Like it kind of added more context. And as I've learned more about that era, I've kind of come to like it a little bit more. It's got so much junk, but it does have a lot of really good stuff. The Battle Royal and um, the Funks and the main event, I really like the Bulldogs. Like I think to me it's like right with 9. It's one of those ones where like you wouldn't think you'd want to, but you start if you're putting 2 and 38 or 33 in front of me right now. Like I'm probably picking 2. I think honestly, like above those at this point.
Yeah, with how the list is shaken out, I'd rather watch 2 than a lot of the other options below it.
I'm gonna put it after 9.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, pretty comparable.
Yeah, I think it's
Once we
crazy.
talk that.
I don't think you'd think of it that way. All right, let's do 28.
Oh man, I'm so angry with this WrestleMania because I wanted it to be so good. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. And you let us down.
I love the main event. I think Rock Cena.
Yeah, no.
Great.
It's we talked about it. It's a lot of mid card filler, like that Johnny Ace and Teddy
Yeah.
Long match. I probably got it in the where I got it here. I gotta find where I got it listed. Oh, I got it in Can We Watch Something Else?
So, well, to me, it's above 34 and 35.
Okay.
It's a little tighter. I like the look. So I think the question for you, I would ask, is it above 12 and 16 combo?
Ooh. I'd rather watch 12.
16?
I'd rather watch 16 too. Yeah.
All right.
You get Godfathers in the house.
Pimping ain't easy, man. All right, let's put it ahead of 35. All right, let's do 22. 22 is a yes, please. Let's watch, I think.
Absolutely. I got it right behind
Okay.
21. Or I got it
Behind
right ahead of
21.
21 actually. But
I think I
I
like
feel
it
like
better
they're
than 21
very
as well.
yeah.
Great main event, great Money in the Bank. Edge Foley is an all timer. Great atmosphere for an arena mania.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of one of the last arena manias, right? Before like the dome stadium
Yeah.
stuff. That's it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think it's an underrated mania. We'll be covering it very soon on War. So, looking forward to it. Dive more into it. See if it holds up on this part of the list. All right, let's do 24.
Yes, please, let's watch, but towards the back end.
I think we got to move 5 up.
Okay. Yeah, I'd
And I'd
rather
have it
watch
right
5
after
before
5. I think I'd
24.
have it right after 5. Because I like it a lot. I'm just not a big fan of the main event. I'm a little lower on Shawn and Flair than most. The scene, but it's got a lot of great stuff. The Belfast Brawl, the Money in the Bank, the Mayweather is probably the best celebrity match of all time. So I really like it.
Yeah,
Me
King
personally,
chokeslam and Chavo, that's cool.
I'd probably have it below 18 on my personal list
Okay.
of what I'd want to watch. But I'm okay deferring and meeting halfway here if you have it a little bit higher.
Go.
So you want to have it
Yeah.
there above 4 and 10?
I think for now, yeah. If it ends up moving down, a notch, I'm not gonna
Okay.
be mad about it.
Yeah, I mean we got some big stuff coming here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do 15.
When it comes to rewatchability, I feel like the show kind of moves a little bit. um, it might work its way into the final watch.
Yeah, I'm going to put 18 up to toss it on them in. I think that's going to move up
Okay.
here. I think I would have 15 ahead of 9, probably ahead of 25. Because stuff
Yeah,
happens.
like
It's like it's an easy watch, and if you're not in the moment giving a shit about the storylines, it's a typical Russo era pay per view. It's like Deadly Games. It's like it's a
yeah.
fun kind of ride through that era, and shit's happening. So
I know like a big knock on this WrestleMania is like, oh, it's just like Raw, but like Raw's exciting during this
yeah,
time.
well, it's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
so all right, below 20 or above 20 for you? So you got to pick one of those to
Oh,
watch.
I'd have it above 20. I again,
Ahead of
not saying it's a
23.
better show, but probably where I pump the brakes.
Okay, I'm good with that. All right, let's do 31.
I've got this in yes, please, let's watch.
Yeah, I think I got it. I think I got it after 8. It's a great mania. It's an awesome vibe and atmosphere. It's a great looking mania. There's some big stuff that happens.
The only thing that gives me pause is the Sting Triple H match. Even though I love Sting, it's not his fault. And then the prolonged Rousey Rock Steph Triple H segment. So
That's
I
just a
probably
long bill to 34, 3 years in the making.
yeah,
Um, Let me ask you
I
this though:
probably have it after 5 on this list.
Is the Sting? Does the Sting stuff not hurt as much, knowing the legacy he's had since? Does that help? Because in the moment, everyone's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe he lost," and this and that, and you kind of think that's it. But his AEW run has been handled so well, and he's just not a WWE guy. So it's like it's almost fitting that his final run is in the Turner-based promotion with Tony Schiavone calling it. Like to me, that takes away some of the hurt from that match. And I like the NWO coming out. I kind of like the clusterfuckness of it. Um, I don't know. I guess it didn't bother me as much at the time, but as others. And I think like this run
For
he's had, like to close his career, feels like okay, it's a better it makes that not hurt as less because it seemed like that was it for a while.
For me, I believe you said this about like the Crush and Macho Man segment at like 10, where it's like, how could you do this to the Macho Man? To me, it's
Right?
like,
Yeah.
how could you do this to the Stinger? Um,
Savage was a WWF
but
guy though. To me, that was a little bit more
yeah,
egregious.
it's
All right, I'm okay if you want to put it after
um,
5. I'm okay with that. That's a good spot.
okay.
I think it's definitely better than 24 in my mind.
I would
Because
agree.
I'm
Yeah,
low on the main event 24. I don't. It's okay.
and I think 31. If we're I think it's one of those shows. Looking at this list, oddly, where it's like I'm actively looking forward to the main event so far.
Right. Oh
Like,
yeah, it's an awesome match.
I think it might be
Best
the best
Reigns
main event
Brock
they've
match
done.
easily.
Yeah.
All right, let's do 26.
Another disappointment. I've got can we watch anything else but this?
I think it's at the top of that though, because I do think it has some really good stuff. This is one we did recently on PCB. Awesome build, just comes up short. So to me, it's similar to what was the other one we kind of talked about where the build was great and it kind of just 28 maybe. Is that the one that was like a well
Yeah.
built?
Yeah, yeah.
So it
Yeah,
was,
28.
I might have it above 35 and 34. I think we got to move 35 and 34 down because I don't see too
Okay.
many other. I've kind of been saving the better ones for the end here. We got to get 7 into each of these.
Yeah, shaking out.
All right. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 6 here. I don't see another one, so I think we're gonna move 26 down. All right. I think everything we got left is gonna be up. All right, let's do 30. Sounds like you get a controversial take on this one.
I do kind of stinky. I don't know, John Cena beats Bray Wyatt for like no good reason. Um, I was personally looking forward to Evolution exploding with Orton and Batista. I know I'm
I
the
mean,
only
the Bryan
person on
stuff's a
earth,
all timer. I'm
but
not. I mean, let's not get crazy.
uh,
I mean, him and Triple
no,
H.
it's
I still went
good.
5. I watched it recently. I'm still a 5 on it. The main event's still a great moment. It's crazy how they hit it, but 10, 20, and 30 to me are all extremely similar. It's like they kind of have like a feel good payoff to the underdog guy, right? Like 10, you get Brett being crowned. 20, you get Benoit after all the years of struggle and they finally give him his moment. 30, they listen and finally put Daniel Bryan over, close the show. 40, we're probably going to get Cody. So, I mean, it kind of is like the 10, 10, 10 with them where they kind of do like that feel good ending to the decade. So I think it's, I mean, there is some stuff you forget that's not great. What's sneaky good is the Andre. I think it's one of the best battle
Yes.
royals they ever had.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good. Taker Brock. I mean, it's an all-time moment. You know,
I think if to its credit, it's the first of the New Orleans WrestleManias. My problem with New Orleans is like a host city is everything is the same exact theme.
mm,
It's all the Dino Bravo symbol and like different shades of
right.
purple and
I
gold.
think that
And
hurts
like once
34
I've
more
seen it,
than
I'm
30, though.
done. So yeah. So I'd give the benefit of the doubt to 30. So where do you want to place it? And then we'll go from there.
So I mean, this is rewatchability, right? So I want to keep grounding
Yeah.
ourselves. So like it's so. Yeah, I personally would have it above 24. I'd rather watch it than 24. I think I like 31
Okay.
better, like as a rewatch. Um, so I'm okay putting it there.
In between 31 and 24.
Yeah.
Okay. That's right
I think
around
it's the
where
best of
I
the
was
10,
eyeballing
20,
to.
30 gamut. So I think it makes sense that they're all kind of a tier apart.
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah.
We're going to move this down.
That
Oh,
was
hang on, that's 30.
WrestleMania
24
34.
is going to go down above.
24.
Yeah. Because
Alrighty.
let's do some maintenance because I don't see anything left that's going to be below. So I think 2 is going to drop here. 27, I mean, 28 is going to go here. So that'll give us our 7 here, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, is that 8? That's 8. So I can go back up. I'm going to bring, so 9 and 2 come down to the F. I have to. And then, okay. Because I don't think, and I'm just going to say, we're going to put 32 under no effing chance. We can debate 27 at the end if you really want to, but so that does bring 28 down a level. Okay. All right. So we got some big boys left. Let's do 14.
Let's go. A really smooth WrestleMania on a watch. It kind of is a perfect time capsule of 1998, the early part of the year. So I'm in like toss it on, maybe toss it in. I'm in.
Do you have it? Where do you have it? I find it similar to 15. They're both like a snapshot of the era. There's no great
Okay.
matches. Atmosphere is awesome. So I think I'd have it there, like paired with 15. I think I'd go 14 then 15. I think they're just
Okay.
very similar to me. Like they're both a bridge of that era, cool crowd, some hot acts, different performances, different stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like nothing stands out. They're both super rewatchable though, like for sure.
Yeah, I've
Um,
in my little rough draft, I had 18 and 14 back to back, so 23 in between looks, it's lining up perfect with what I got to.
yeah, I'm okay. You know what? Again, I want to keep grounding that it's not best Mania. So I'm already moving 23 back a little bit because I think I would rather watch 14, 15 over 23. Chad just punched the wall. All right, let's do 37.
Yeah. I went back and rewatched it. I found it to be pretty rewatchable. Um,
That's my
I do
memory of
have
it.
it I've got it in the final watch, but towards the back end.
Yeah, I'm due for a rewatch of it. It's been a while. I find the post-COVID happiness vibe on that show to really be endearing. Maybe because I was there and that's how I felt, but like it just had this peaceful feeling over the whole show. Like, oh, we're finally fucking back. Here we are. Never thought we'd be doing this again. Um, it just had like such a relaxed feel to the show. Like I feel like there was less angst, less booing. Like everyone just kind of was happy to be there. And it's got some classic stuff. The main event, this three-way is awesome. I really like Sasha Bianca. Um, Sammy KO is good. Is it Drew? Does he have a great match in there somewhere? Is that
Drew and Lashley,
Drew
yeah, they
Lash
have
is
a great
great.
match that
Bad
opens up the
Bunny is
show.
awesome. Um,
They got Sheamus and Riddle
yes, that's
is a
good.
dude's rock match,
Yep.
and there's another Cesaro and Rollins is also
Yes.
excellent.
Yeah, that's a great show.
What's cool about those matches is like none of them go like balls to the wall to be 5 stars. They're
Right.
all just kind of, I hate to say like house show mode because like you're not doing house show mode at WrestleMania, but because like everybody is coming back and the roster is so stacked, everybody's just having like their version of like a pretty good match.
I think they just
And
wanted
it all
to
stands out.
put a show on for the crowd again. It was just like everyone's happy to
Yeah.
see us. The only thing that really stinks is the box with Orton and another shitty Orton Wyatt Mania match. But
I like that one more.
yeah, it's definitely better.
Yeah.
So would you have it above 14, 15?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Above 23?
I don't think so either.
Above 20?
Oh,
It's
what do
above
you
25.
yeah.
Let's move 25 down to F. I have to. That feels like an F. I have to show.
Yeah, 20 and 37 kind of feel interchangeable.
All right, let's leave it right there for now.
Okay.
All right, let's do 13. This is a good one.
Yeah, again, when it comes to rewatch, it's Chicago. It's one that's the last year of the classic WrestleMania logo
Mm-hmm.
and the black emblem and branding of WrestleMania. Of course you got the last 3 matches, even though it's, Sid Undertaker for the match quality, it's Sid, Insane Justice, Psycho Sid in the main event. You got
And
Brett running back out. It's
Sean's fun on
chaos.
commentary too. He's just shitting on
Yeah,
everything
he's
going
all
on.
coked up and pilled up and
The Nation match was
allegedly.
super fun. Brett Austin's
That's great.
arguably the
Yeah.
best match of all time in company history. Uh, yeah, the crowd's hot. You could feel the momentum starting to build with that show a little bit. I think it fits right in with that 14-15 bunch, but I think it's got the best match of all time. And that's a match you want to watch a ton of. So I think it's going to jump up. Um, and we start looking, there's some common themes above it with 18 and 10 are kind of buoyed by having like the all-time match on there, right? They both have 5-star matches. Um, I think I want to move 4 and 24 below those. Are you all right with that?
Yeah, yep, yep.
And then I
Again,
think I
if we're
put
getting back to
13
the
above those.
premise of if we're getting to the premise of like us hanging out, what are we gonna watch? I've probably got 13 ahead of 10. Just flip flop those two.
So 13, 10, 18, 4.
I probably have 13, 18, 10, but it's they're all bunched together right there.
I like 10 better.
Okay. No, I wouldn't fight over that.
All right.
2 Brett matches. I'm happy.
All right, let's do WrestleMania 1.
Uh, is it the original version with Easy Lover?
Yeah, of course.
That goes a long way. I'll go fine. I'll watch.
Yeah. I think I have it as an like, I do like the main event. Stud and Bundy's fun. I mean, Stud and Andre's fun. The women's stuff is good. I mean, it's so house showy feeling. But yeah, I don't know. I'd probably rather watch it than 25 again, honestly. I guess at the end of Final Watch, because I think I'd have 37 above it if I had to pick right
Yeah.
now. All right. All right. Let's do 7.
Ooh, I've got it in. Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, but the problem is somebody's going to move down. I think we're going to move 30 and 31 down because we're about to get some big boys coming. So do you have 7 above 5? I do.
Yeah, I do.
I think I have 7 below 8 ahead of
Yes,
22 and
correct.
21.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Final 5. Let's go with last year, 39.
I've got it in. Yes, please. Let's watch. Oh, excuse me. I got to toss it in.
All right. So I think
Toss it
24 is
in.
going to
Toss
go
it
down
in.
to Final Watch.
Okay.
And I think I'm putting it below 14 and 15. I've been fighting it.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, that versus 23 and 20. What do you think?
I think I'd rather watch 24 than 23. Again, I think the atmosphere carries
Okay.
24 a lot for me. The outdoor stadium.
All right. So where do
The
you want to put
orange ring
39 then?
ropes.
You have 39 above 30 and 31?
I don't know if I have it above 31. I would have it ahead of 30.
We had 30 ahead of 31 though, right?
Okay. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
You see you have it above
That's
the
fine.
you
Yeah.
have it above the 13, 10, 8.
Now that they're all placed together, there's no
I know.
way I'd watch
Right.
that
I think
ahead
it's
of.
I think it's after 15.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I'm moving 1. No, we can't. We're stuck here. All right. So that's going to come up. So we got 4 more. We got 2 goats still to come and 2 more yes please. And I think these 4 slot in there. So I think we're okay where we're at. All right. Let's go reverse chronologically. So let's start with 19.
Got it in the yes, please. Let's watch.
19's weird for me, right? So I'm a truther, right? I will argue its merits over 17 as they show. But from a rewatchability standpoint, I'm not as into the era. It doesn't have the things I look for if I really want to throw Mania on just to like screw around and enjoy. So I think I have it probably at the back end of this. Like I'd rather watch 8, 7, 22, 21, 5, I think over it.
Yep. Exactly where I've got it. The atmosphere I think is really cool. I love the Safeco Field setting. Commentary is really good all night. But it's kind of just like dumb stuff on the card, like
Yeah.
catfight girls, pushes like RVD off the card, like that sucks. Got Triple H and Booker T, that debacle. But it's not, it's a great show.
All right, 17.
This one is number one in the GOATs for me. If we're putting this on, fire it up, man. It's the crescendo of the Attitude Era. You get all the acts are there. You've got JR and Heyman on commentary, and it's all of the best of the Attitude Era, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to argue it. I feel like I'm getting exposed in my 1917 argument here, but it's this rewatchability, not like best bang for your buck match. We watched Rock Austin recently on No Holds Barred. I do think it holds up. I think it's got some flaws, but I think it holds up. And if you're in love with the Attitude Era and in love with that time frame, then yeah, I mean, I don't know what more you could want as a blow off show. It's kind of got everything, and like you said, JR and Heyman are awesome. So now it comes down to the age-old debate, my friend, 6 and 3, which I feel always comes down to in these parts. I am a 6/3 guy. I always have been. I get it. I think it comes down to a lot of it is what you grew up with. Did you grow up with Hogan Andre, or did you grow up with Hogan Warrior? Did you grow up with the 86, 87 guys, or did you grow up with the 89, 90 guys, right? Your perfect Beefcake, DiBiase, Jake, Warrior, that group, or were you a, Piper, Adonis, Cowboy Bob, Morocco?
Yep. It's
Savage
very much
Steamboat.
LJN versus Hasbro era.
So I mean, in my mind, coming into this, I was thinking these are the GOATs because I think they represent, and I think we could argue all these with 17 could all be GOATs because I think they're like the perfect end to different eras. Like 3 is such a mega show to cap off the original rock and wrestling climb. 6 is almost like the 19 to 317, where it's kind of the end of the era, right? Like I feel like 3 and 17 are like the peak of the hot era, and 6 and 19 are kind of like the end of the hot era, to me. So like those are similar. But if this is pure rewatchability for me all day long, I'm putting 6 on over 3, and no one's going to tell me differently. Like I'd much rather watch 6, but I love that time. I love Gorilla and Jesse at that show. I love the Sky Dome atmosphere. I'm not as high on Savage Steamboat. It's not. I'd rather watch Hogan Warrior over Hogan Andre. This is where I'm at as a fan.
Give me the 3-peat, man. Give me Demolition beating the Colostomy Connection. The Hart Foundation Squasher. I love WrestleMania 6 as well. It's I have it in the second spot of the GOAT category.
All right, now let's piss some people off. I would rather watch 8 and 7 over 3.
Yep.
Okay. I can't put it below 22 and 21 though.
Me either. Nope.
Okay. All right. This feels pretty good. I mean, it's as nostalgia heavy as you would expect. It is what it is. Again, this is meant to be rewatchability. You're throwing it on. We're not stack ranking versus match quality or show quality, but I think it bears out a little bit. Like 32 and 36 to me are clearly the worst Manias. I think on any list to me, those would be the last two. I think 11 is in the conversation. And that bears out, right? It's 11 and 27, 32 and 36 are probably the worst 4 on most lists. So I think the ones that benefit the most in a setup like this is 1, 2, and 9. I think those are 3 that generally aren't considered like great Manias, but we find
15 was a climber too.
15, 13. I think those are very rewatchable for sure. So I think this feels pretty good. I keep going back and forth on 4. Like it feels low and high at the same time. Like I could see it ahead of 30 and 31 just from rewatchability, but I could also see it below like 39. I don't know.
I'm not going to argue against 4 being moved up to the front and toss it on.
Yeah, I don't know though. I think I don't know if I have it above 13 and fuck, I think I do. All right. Yep. All right. Let's just do this and end it before anyone else complains. All right. Here
Not
it
saying
is.
it's a greater show.
If you're listening audio real quick, I'll just read them through. So no F and chance from we're going to go from worst to best in each year. So no F and chance, we got 36 and then 32. Can we watch anything else but this? We got 27, then 11, then 29, then 34, then 35, then 26, then 28. If I have to, 16, 12, 33, 38, 2, 9, 25. Fine, I'll watch, which I feel like Fine, I watch is a misleading name. I feel like it should be more like, yeah, it's wrestling. I'm in. I think it's more like that versus Final Watch because I like these all. I'm going to rename it on the fly right here. So I'm going to, instead of Final Watch, let's put it's WrestleMania. Let's do it because I like these all. Let's do this.
Yeah, they're all fine.
It's Mania. Let's do it. Okay. Nope. Okay. All right. So it's Mania. Let's do it as 1, then 37, 20, 23, 24, 39, 15. Then toss it on. I am all in. 14, 18, 10, 13, 31, 34. Yes, please, let's watch. This is the best of the best outside of the all-timers. 19, 5, 21, 22, 3, 7, 8. And then our 2 all-timers, 6, and then 17 is the one we're saying is the most rewatchable WrestleMania of all time. So that was a lot of fun, bud. I'm glad we dove in and dug into that. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. Weigh in with your rewatchability list. Is this, if this is your playlist and I told you had to watch every Mania in this order, are you okay with it? Right? What would you bring up? What would you lower? Put it in the comments on YouTube or send us on social media if you're listening. Let us know what we were overrating, what we're underrating. This is a very much a personal preference list, and we're okay with that. There's no right answer on this list besides 3 being below 6.
Or let us know when you're leaving the party.
That as well. When you ask.
All right, I'm out.
Check out Marcus and I every other Thursday on WWE War. If you like this, it's more of the same. Again, it's kind of a nerding out and digging deep into these pay-per-views. We've done a lot of Manias. We're going to have a lot more Mania content. Subscribe to the countdown. Follow along with Ryan and I as we go through that. Check out everything else in North South Connection. We appreciate you. Everyone, take care. Talk to you soon.
The WWF, what the world is watching.